What's going on, traders? Now today we'll be talking about a thing which I've been wanting to talk to you guys about for a very long time, right? Now Bitcoin on the Super-Guppy is something that could indicate a potential capitulation or a potential trend continuation to the upside. So obviously this video is going to be having no intro for that matter, but let's just jump on real quick to Ethereum at first in the small time frames. We are looking at this low break, guys. Look, yesterday I was talking about how this area has to be has to be taken care of, otherwise it's just going to go down all the way towards these price points. And look, guys, this is a no-brainer. I hope if you were trading the markets yesterday, you made use of it. But yeah, this was one of the most obvious trades. Looking, as soon as we broke below the support region right here, there was simply how do I even say? Look, guys, you can't really say things about obvious things, right? So this just went right here. And look, guys, now another obvious looking trade on Ethereum would be breaking below this entire range. Now this range is bigger than this one right here, guys. This was a very, very small little support, out of which we broke down and just simply went down all the way towards the support right here. And this is not your regular ordinary support right here, guys. As this one is extending from $2,050 levels all the way towards flat $2,000 levels. And once we start closing daily candles or 12-hour candles below your $2,000 levels, I think we're going to be sweeping the lows back again for Ethereum. So something like that could happen down the line, where we could be testing this entire area of liquidity, with Bitcoin trying to break or make alongside your $30,000 levels, I do believe. Now let's see what happens in the coming days, but as of now Ethereum is kind of losing momentum out of these levels. And since the weekend is jumping up, guys, look, guys, I think we're going to be dealing with another piece of junk kind of price action without any particular direction that could come into fruition. But it's just going to, it's most likely going to be a sideways chop between this resistance and the support. Now if we do take this to the upside, most likely we will be retracing all the way towards the 786, the deep retracement out of this bearish leg in the small time frames, right? Now that was landing somewhere alongside your $2,300 levels flat. Now once we go to these levels, then we can evaluate the situation further as to if Ethereum really wants to continue this trend to the upside or not. Now essentially, guys, the structure, the bigger part of the structure is still intact, right? Now why do I say of that? The only reason being this low which is being formulated right now. If you take these lows in context, we are still trying to formulate bit of hopium for here from here and there everywhere, just trying to tell you guys that no, things cannot just break down just like that in one single go, because we are dealing with illiquid situations, guys. The money that is required to move these assets by maybe 50 to 40% is not there in the market. So maybe things can take time, right? And which is why we got to be patient in the market and just maybe take these trades, maybe just go for these trades which are for 2% or 3%. Doesn't really matter, guys. The compounding value of your own trading gains would prove to you down the line. It's not going to happen in one single day, but certainly trading is not a rocket science. When things start looking completely boring and still you're consistently profiting in the market, that is essentially when you're growing, guys. That is when you're essentially growing. Now this is one of the things which I think a lot of new traders would resonate a lot to. What essentially happens is that you would start making gains in the market, and it would be so slow, and it would be so how do I say, not mind-boggling every single time. So usually traders, they start increasing their stakes in the market, essentially increasing the leverage in the market to make the most out of their profitable situation going on. But no, guys, I do feel that if you really want to be looking at your entire, let's say, guys, you were talking about 10-year horizon for your own trading, right? I think even a month worth of price action trading, or even a year worth of trading for that matter, is not going to be relevant, guys. The only thing that is going to be relevant is building good habits as a trader, guys. It's really, let me be very honest with the fact that if you keep on rolling with your habits that are not making you profitable in the market, you keep on doing the same things in the market, I think it's going to be very difficult to get rid of that habits, guys. It's just that because once we start reinforcing those bad habits into our brains, getting out of it is going to be another challenge. And to be honest with you, trading cryptocurrency is a challenge on its own, guys. So you don't want to pile up challenges for yourself. You got to ease out, and when you don't see any clear-cut trade in your hands, just leave the market alone and don't do anything about it, right? And for the alright, for the matter, let's just finish this one right here. Let's just conclude with the price action right here. As far as you're holding your $2,000 levels, guys, well, your structure is kind of okay-ish right now. Not really that bullish, guys. I don't think this is bullish as a whole. Nope, this does not look any more bullish. I mean, although we would have, had we been just taken out this price action right here at $2,600 levels, that would have that would have signaled some kind of change in behavior in time frames that do matter, like the 3-day itself. But as of now, look at this one, guys, getting rejected. A tweezer top, double tweezer top rejection coming from the 3-day 21 exponential itself on Ethereum, signaling the fact that we could be taking a lot of time trying to consolidate and figure out a direction for the market itself. Now, the interesting thing about, let me just see if we have that on 12-hour time frame or not. No, this one's volatility is declining on 12-hour time frame. Do we have it on the daily? Daily, the volatility is still under expanse on Ethereum itself. Now, I guess that's on Bitcoin, but for that matter, Ethereum daily just rejecting the 21 exponential. No, guys, no. This is getting back into a chop right here. I mean, yep, you could have continued your trend to the upside had you been clearing out this level on a daily closing basis. But as soon as you put in a tweezer top, even on the daily time frame, yep, your price action got reflected upon the 3-day time frame, which is quite significant, more relevant than the daily itself, and you see the follow through happening, guys. So essentially, the bias for this weekend itself could be nothing, guys. Most likely, it's a llama market. It's a chop market for the weekend itself. Judging by the price action on Ethereum, I don't think we're just going to be breaking down below onto some shit zones for this weekend itself. Most likely, we could be hovering around some key levels of support and resistance, guys, which is going to be 2,000 to the downside, and it's going to be certainly 2,300 levels to the upside itself. That it's going to be a range bound situation, most likely, right? Now, jumping on to Bitcoin, this is what I want to talk to you guys about for this video itself. Wow, choking on my own saliva. I'm feeling kind of blue today, guys. Everything is blue around here. Everything, quite literally everything is looking blue as well. Alright, so this is your Super-Guppy indicator on the 3-day time frame, and every single time you have turned around, yes, you have retested this lower band, guys. Now, I don't really know what kind of band that is. I guess this is the 200 exponential moving average, and we on the 3-day time frame itself, and this one quite literally has held up a lot of down moves, guys. A lot of down moves in the first and the foremost pass, right? Now, I'm talking about these exponential trends formulating, and then we are looking at a little change of behavior in the Guppy trend itself, and then we could just simply go back and test this area of liquidity for a very long time, guys. You see this every single time, right? Somewhere alongside this moving average, the 200 simple on the 3-day time frame, or the exponential, I guess. This is going to be holding your price action for at least some time. Now, we are making our way all the way towards these price points, which kind of tells us that the $27,000 levels in the first and the foremost past, $27,000 extending all the way down towards $25,000 as well, could be acting like a support, guys. And I think it's going to be very difficult breaking that support to the downside. But look, guys, if this level is not being held, essentially this 200 exponential moving average on the 3-day time frame is not being held. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I think it is the 200 itself, but yep, it could be the exponential or it could be the simple itself on the 3-day time frame. But if this is not being held on the Super-Guppy, that could mean a little bit of trouble, guys, to be honest with you, right? Now, because this is the kind of price action that emerges out of the breakdown. But for this situation to be blown up, we do want the Super-Guppy turning out to be red. We do want that bearish dominance. We do want that bear trend under complete control, as this is quite a good indicator as to how the trends are performing in the bigger picture, guys. This is the 3-day time frame itself, and reading and understanding Super-Guppy is certainly one of the most important things that you can do in terms of analyzing the Bitcoin's price action long term, right? Now, essentially, guys, every single time you see the Super-Guppy turning red, and that is when you lose the 200 exponential downside, and that is when you get accumulated for a very long time below some key levels, and let's just say your accumulation ranges that range all the way about 75 to 80% correction from the upside, guys. That is when your bottom essentially takes place on Bitcoin's price action itself. But just to get onto those numbers, I think, look, guys, I think it's going to be slow and steady grind. It's going to take a lot of time. It's going to chop a lot of people. Essentially, guys, this is why your coming days and the months for Bitcoin, all the way down towards even $15,000, $12,000 levels for Bitcoin, most likely could be perfect accumulation ranges for the coming years, guys. We're talking about, let's just say, we're talking about 10-year long event horizon. And on that, if you talk about these kind of time frames, which are huge, which are completely huge, certainly accumulating price action, accumulating the asset itself when the price action is going on to a downtrend has certainly proved out to be the better strategy. In the long time frame, as an investment standpoint, it has proven out to be a better strategy rather than timing everything in the small time frames to the upside or the downside, maybe trading and getting chopped out every single day. The better thing has always been accumulating when the price action stays somewhere alongside the Guppy support, guys, the 200 exponential on the 3-day time frame itself, right? Now, essentially, guys, certainly the bear trend right here is emerging strong. I mean, this is looking strengthful to the downside. We see every single moving average cross towards the downside right here, and yes, look, guys, it's just a matter of time. If you're not able to trend above the upper guppy, I mean, what sort of moving average is this? I guess this is the 3. Holy shit, this is quite I would not be analyzing the moving averages, the simple moving averages like this, but just in this context right here, just in the guppies, super guppies context right here, until you don't trend above the upper side, and until your, let's say, your moving averages are crossing back towards the upside with the green backing as a support right in the price action, I don't think you're going to be emerging strong with your bullish trends, guys. It's going to be simple consolidation to downside price action happening on Bitcoin itself, and that could be your perfect accumulation range, guys. Well, we could be waiting for this kind of breakdown to happen all the way towards some key levels, but that could take some time, guys. That could essentially take a lot of time, I guess. For this weekend, I don't think essentially we could be breaking down below this entire Bitcoin range itself. Although time frames like weekly time frame itself are kind of significant, guys. Are really kind of significant. As you can see, last time we did create a bounce right here as we tested the lower range of the guppy, and to be honest with you, every single time we do come to the lower side, we have a little kind of bullish momentum to the upside, guys. Let's just take a look at the previous bear market in the context, right? Now there you go. Once again, you are getting supported on the lower side of the guppy, and then you are making a push to the upside for a potential 618 retracement, guys. 618 retracement out of the base right here, which could be aligning somewhere alongside your $50,000 levels, guys. Again, I cannot stress on that level again and again. But if history really has to tell us anything, the lower band on the guppy has supported the trend. Now let's just try to interplay this with the 3-day 200 simple itself. So essentially, guys, what you see is that the lower guppy on the weekly time frame is kind of aligning with the 200 exponential on the 3-day time frame itself, signaling that the 618 could be a massive support, could be a humongous support. So essentially, as a buyer's look, guys, you can't essentially look at this trend as a as a buyer, to be honest with you. If you are trading the direction, if you are trading the trend, this is down, guys. This trend is simply down, and simply going for a long position on Bitcoin on to 618 would be a trade which has lesser probability to play out to the upside. But the only thing that makes me bullish is if you just go by the context of the guppy trend on the weekly time frame itself, the price action gets supported, guys. The price action gets supported in the first go. It really gets supported, and then we have that push to the upside. So essentially, what would you essentially do on these levels to play this kind of bet? What would you do if you want to be betting on the market going to the upside from the lower guppy? You would be managing your risk all the way towards these price points, guys. And essentially, if the weekly time frame starts closing below the $27,000 level, that could mean that yes, this could have a potential devastating result, and we could come back down on the 200 exponential on the weekly time frame for guppy, guys. For guppy, now that is a crazy gigantic downside price target. If you just look at the guppy trend right here, coming in at $70,000 to $16,000 levels of Bitcoin, right? But essentially, in the first and the foremost parts, guys, we can expect this one to hold on. We can expect this one to hold on. As you can see, Bitcoin is quite literally oversold on various time frames, and whenever Bitcoin does these kind of situations, just judging by the history itself, yep, you show some kind of reversion to the mean in the price action itself, right? Now essentially, guys, there's one more thing before we start closing the weekly candle below this 600 retracement itself. I think we could be chopping up our risk management all the way towards the lower guppy, because if you just want to be a little more accurate in terms of price action, you can see right here, guys, this candle starts closing to the downside. We do have some continuation going on below the guppy itself on the weekly schedule, right? Similarly, right here, once you had this weekly candle going on in terms of the closing basis below the lower guppy, yes, you continue your trend to the downside, right? Here as well, guys. Every single time that happens, if you just refer to the guppy in the weekly time frame itself, which is why you can certainly manage your risk below this price point. If you start closing the weekly below $30,000 levels essentially on Bitcoin itself, most likely any bullish retracement is going to be cancelled out, guys, and it's not going to look pretty. And everybody would be holding on to their breaths once we come on to the 618 at $27,000 to $28,000 levels, and that would be a sight. Although, guys, the volatility could start expanding. I'm not even kidding. The volatility could start expanding, and once we start setting in a directional bias to the downside, essentially losing the guppy to the downside, even the Bollinger Band, guys. Now I'm not talking about the Bollinger Band on this video. Should we do it? Alright, why not? Let's just get rid of the guppy for that time being and put in some Bollinger Bands for that matter and see where the lower side is coming. Right here, guys, right here. Now, this one is aligning with the lower, this one is aligning with the 600 retracement as well. Now, you see the relevancy of this entire region, guys. This entire region, all the way towards $27,000 levels, is extremely important for Bitcoin for a macro picture, guys, for a macro picture. As if we just keep on rejecting this trend to the downside, and look, guys, if you start trending alongside the lower Bollinger Band to the downside, losing hold on the support and the guppy as well, that would mean multiple confluences of breakdown, and that would not be a good news. That would certainly be a volatility expansion towards the downside, and guys, that could not mean good price action, to be honest with you, and it could cause a lot of potential damage for a very long time, guys, for a very long time, and then Bitcoin could take a very long time to recover as well in the market, right? Although, look, guys, I don't really have a crystal ball, so I can't really say what the market is probably going to do in the coming days and the months. But the best guess would be the fact that if we are going to be just aligning the price action with this kind of influence, the confluence of indicators happening between the guppy and the Bollinger Band, which is very, very significant on the time frame like weekly itself, yes, things would not be looking that nice. I don't think having a bullish bias when we lose this level to the downside is going to be a nice option for the entire crypto landscape, guys, for the entire crypto landscape, right? Now, okay, enough with Bitcoin, I guess. I mean, look, guys, now there's one more thing which I want to take a look at for today's video, but do I have another chart out? Okay, let's do the charting on this one itself. It's going to be Synthetix against USD for you guys, and I think we're going to be taking a look at Synthetix on KuCoin. I think this one has the most of the history, right? Now, jumping on the weekly time frame itself, let's see what's going on. I do have this channel plotted, and look, guys, we did bottom out somewhere. All right, now this is not a confirmed piece of price action in terms of just trying to pinpoint the bottom itself, but I do believe that this trend line could essentially get retested with precision on the $6 levels, guys. Although I think, look, guys, I think if I were to be just considering this logarithmic trend on Synthetix network token, considering the price action that started all the way towards the last week of February 2019, I think, yes, this trend line is for real, guys. This is a major, massive, mega trend line for Synthetix network token itself, and most likely it has bottomed out, guys. Synthetix network token has bottomed out on the USD pair. Now, why do I say this, guys? Because even if we come down all the way towards, even if we come down all the way towards the lower support right here, it could take some time, and by the time we do come here, we're going to be establishing a top which could be above this price point right here, essentially alongside your $6 levels on Synthetix. So, guys, $6 levels on Synthetix is something which I've been talking about for a very long time. Could be a potential areas of values if we start our trend to the downside. Basically, if you start going to the downside alongside the weekly 21 exponential itself, yes, your bottom side of the channel could come into fruition, and guys, this is what we are dealing with as of now. And I remember the last video I made on Synthetix was somewhere alongside these levels where look, guys, we were potentially looking for a reversal on the trend itself for Synthetix network token on these levels, but with this bearish rejection, nope, I was like, nope, I can't just simply go to the upside just like that. I do want some reaccumulation happening for some major time frames, and then we can talk about some price action. Yep, Synthetix network token essentially not listening to me or you or any investor for that matter, coming down at the channel lows and most likely bottoming out, guys. Most likely, if judging by the trend right here, Synthetix has bottomed out. Now, this is significantly up as of now. I would essentially want this one to consolidate more alongside the 21 exponential on the weekly time frame itself, essentially setting a trend like this above the exponential 21 on the weekly itself. Then we can talk about a potential trend continuation, guys. And look, the next wave on Synthetix, if it emerges to the upside, it's gonna be good, guys. This one will potentially take Synthetix all the way towards $100 in let's say it could be happening before the end of 2021 itself. And with Bitcoin going to the sideways and downside, I think the Synthetix token against BTC is going to be looking strong, guys. It's going to be looking strong if we just keep on continuing with this middle support as well out of this entire logarithmic regression channel right here, right? Now, let's take a look at the momentum oscillators for that matter. Now, do we have any hidden bullish? Yes, guys. Yes, guys. This is a macro hidden bullish divergence which is under formulation as of now on Synthetix network token right here between this price point and this price point, guys. Check this out. The price action bottomed out right here with the RSI sitting in at 46, whereas the price action bottomed out right here, which is significantly above this price point, whereas the RSI being extremely oversold, guys. These kind of situations are your hidden bullish divergence, guys. You see this diverging price action with the diverging RSI as well. This essentially means that yes, this bounce coming from these levels is real, guys, is completely real, right? Now essentially we can come back down onto $6 levels and formulate a base, kind of like a double bottom in the coming weeks and the months as well, and then we can attempt a legit break out of this entire reaccumulation and head towards $100 per Synthetix, guys. Could happen down the line. I do believe in the long term this asset has outperformed a lot of things in the rest of the crypto market. If you just take a comparison, if you just dig deep into most of the crypto assets, guys, look, first and foremost, I don't think most of the assets are trending like this in the macro, and whatever asset is trying to do that, some real fundamental logic is behind it, and yep, and most likely the protocol is being used, guys, and Synthetix is one of the protocols which has real use cases, and it is used, guys. This is like a downside protection protocol. Essentially you can create Synthetix assets with your collateral being Ethereum, Bitcoin, or USDT or anything like that. You could do your own research on Synthetix network token, and this is one of the protocols which I was going bonkers about, trying to understand how this entire mechanism works, and this is one of the protocols that really turned my head around. And certainly, guys, if I were to be look, guys, had anyone told me about Synthetix right now, and I would have had no idea about these kind of protocols, I would have certainly been really excited to just understand how these things work. So I think you should do your own research as to how the entire protocol is working, because down the line, I think this is one of the projects which could certainly keep on shooting towards the upside as a whole, as the network usage keeps on growing, and with Ethereum EIP 1559 being deployed pretty soon, with a potential reduction in the gas fees on Ethereum network, these kind of protocols could pick up, guys, Currently using Synthetix network token is not cheap, guys. It's not cheap, obviously, right? This is working on Ethereum blockchain itself, which is why it's not going to be that cheap. But once we have these layer 2 solutions being deployed onto the mainnet, onto our Ethereum blockchain itself, certainly, guys, the NFT market could multifold, you know that, and protocols like Synthetix network token could multifold as well, just in terms of the usage, the network usage, and participation as an overall trend, right? Now, guys, this is one of the price action support region which I would be putting a lot of focus on, to be honest with you, because if we lose the $6 levels to the downside, most likely we would be breaking below this channel, and that would technically not be a good thing, guys. Look, because if we just break below this one, now this is a logarithmic chart, and if I just put a trend line like this and I do something like that, nope, it's not going to work out, guys. It's not going to work out like that, right? Which is why what we can say is that once we start losing this one to the downside, you don't have much support happening all the way towards $2.5 levels per Synthetix. So essentially, guys, I would want Synthetix network token to hold on to $6 levels, and if $6 levels are not being held on a weekly basis, it would come back down all the way towards even juicier prices, guys, even juicier. I do see a lot of value on Synthetix network token fundamentally. So if it comes down all the way towards $2 to $3 levels as well, it could be a massive opportunity to accumulate this one and just scoop off the market for cheap, guys. I think this is going to be a very big opportunity if it comes down all the way right here. But essentially, in the first and the foremost part, just by judging at the price action and this massive hidden bullish divergence coming from this low and this low, in the first and the foremost pass, yes, $6 could be held down the line, guys, Let's check out the daily time frame for that matter. Looking nice. Synthetix bouncing off of the 21 exponential today itself, where most of the market is not looking this bullish. Synthetix network is trying to put in a new trend from this exponential on the daily time frame itself. Now that's interesting to look at, right? Now let's see what happens in the coming days. But if we are going to be situating our price action above this entire zone, guys, essentially the $6 to $7 levels, yes, we could simply head to the upside, trending alongside the middle logarithmic band, and then we can proceed all the way towards $100 levels. And I think, guys, accumulating Synthetix is not a bad idea. If you've been watching the content from this channel, I've been talking about how I totally bought the top on Synthetix right around $1.5 levels and watch it go down to shit below $1, way below $1, guys. And look, things are doing fine as of now, right? Things are doing fine, and certainly this is one of the look, guys, this is one of my hodl. Synthetix network token is one of my hodl as well. Now, is it $1 million worth of Synthetix? No, guys, but certainly the amount of Synthetix which I personally feel I'm okay holding, and I'm comfortably losing it as well down the line. Alright, guys, I think I'm going to be taking a leave right here, and I will catch all of you in the next video pretty soon. Bye for now.